Okay, so let's jump into Pro Control. I'm going to walk you through how I've created this 5150 sound. I've been working on it for a long time and I kind of gave up. I was trying to use the Plexi and I had it running kind of full tilt as Eddie would have done with his Super Lead, his Marshall Super Lead. And I was using, I think, the greenback cabs. I just wasn't getting the sound that I wanted. And then one day I was watching this amazing channel, Cade Roberts. If you haven't seen Cade Roberts, he is amazing. So if you haven't checked out this guy before, Cade Roberts recreates songs, but not just from a guitar perspective. He'll recreate the guitar tones, but he'll also do the bass tracks, the synth tracks if it's got some. He plays the drums, so he'll put drum tracks on it, and he does vocals or gets vocalists in to do the vocal tracks. Then he engineers the whole thing. Then he breaks down how he engineers it. It's an absolute wealth of learning tutorials in his videos. They're fantastic. So he did one on 5150, and he does this crazy cover version where he's got a singer as well, which sounds brilliant. But then he breaks down, and a lot of it, to be honest, most of it is based around the drum tracks because there's so much that goes into engineering drum tracks, and he's going through in, is it Pro Tools? Yeah, Pro Tools. He's walking through like every effect he puts on every channel and all that kind of stuff. Lots of good stuff in there. But he also broke down how he created the guitar tracks. Now, I was struggling with the sound because I wanted the certain sound that Eddie was using on 5150. And until recently, I think it was in version 1.6, we didn't have the thing that I needed, which was the micro shifter. So I've added the micro shifter in, and I knew I was going to add that anyway. But then the way that Cade Roberts talks about it is he records the guitars on one side, and then he uses a delay to fill out the right side, and kind of uses that sort of microtonal effect as well with a harmonizer. So it's the same kind of effect, except I'm just recording it in stereo, and he's recording sort of a mono track and then bouncing the other side to make it stereo. So the actual amp he uses is a Marshall BluesBreaker combo, which was a surprise to me because I saw the cover first. And that video, he had a Marshall Silver Jubilee head. So I assumed that that's what he was using in the recordings. Now, if I jump back into my preset, and I'm going to turn some of these effects off because I don't want to kind of color the sound too much. But let's just say this is my initial preset going on here with a bit of reverb on it. If I was to use a Plexi, in an Eddie way, which was basically everything up full, wasn't it? Way too dark. Probably wouldn't have run everything. Let's pull the bass all the way back. So immediately compared to the Silver Jubilee, it's a lot darker. So I'd have to change either the cab or the mic positions. But the mic position is already, as you can see here, it's on the cap, 1 inch off the cap. I've got two different mics here. One's off axis, so I could put it on axis. But it's still not doing it for me. I just think it sounds too dull. Could obviously swap that out for what he was using, BritBreaker. Now, the BluesBreaker. So to me, that just doesn't sound right either. The other option is either the British 800 or the Friedman. So the British 800, if I turn off some of these effects, I want to keep this so that it sounds exactly like the first one that I did. Sounds good, actually. Let's whack the gain. Bit less bass. Crank the middle a bit and some presence. Yep, that sounds good as well. But I landed on the Silver Jubilee or the British Jubilee lead. And I'm going to show you the settings that I used. So I've picked the 4x12 British greenback cabs here, as you can see, and I've got a SM57 and an MD421. The SM57 is off axis. The dynamic MD421 is on axis, and both of them have a low cut of 90 Hertz and a high cut of 5 kilohertz. And they're both 1 inch off the cap. Then for the amp settings, I've got the gain not all the way up. Not all of the gain comes from this amp for my preset. And I've also got the middle a bit high and the presence boosted too. And it's pretty bright and quite loud. I've put the volume, I've boosted the volume here up to 47%. Okay, so that's the basis for the sound. We've got reverb on this, a small room reverb. Without it. Obviously having drop D is the key, and I have a D tuner on here so I can easily drop it down. Okay, but that doesn't sound like 5150 just yet. So this is obviously something that I've added in. I just wanted to use it. It's a new pedal. It's the Namaste Drive, and I wanted to boost the British Jubilee, but I wanted to do it in a way that adds a bit more character. So it adds more definition. I've actually reduced the gain by doing it. And I really like the way that sounds. So the next thing I added was the EQ5 parametric. On the record, I could still hear this sort of slight difference in the mid-range, so I just wanted to try and scoop it a little bit. So this is without, and then with. But this is the thing that changes everything and makes it sound like 5150. I've got the pitch left set to 3 cents, pitch right to -3 cents, so it's either way, and I have the mix at 45%. Then I have the delay left to 25 milliseconds and the delay right to 16 milliseconds, just to give that kind of offset thing to widen it a little bit more, but the spread is set to 100%, so it's nice and wide as well. And the feedback is at 0, so we don't have any repeats on that other than the single delay repeat. So it goes from sounding like this. If you're wearing headphones, you'll notice it straight away. All right, so let's compare that to the record. It's not exact, but I really like how it sounds. I've got a bit more gain. You could probably pull this back and have a... But you will need to boost it again for this section. So you would either set the gain on a foot switch, which you could do like this. You could set up a switch that's, oops, sorry, do that again. So parameter change, pick the amp, and we'll do gain. The activated value, we'll say whatever it is at the moment. And then for the inactive value, pull it back down to say 46. And we'll make that, oh yeah, no. Change the color from red to, say, orange. So now we've got the Jubilee lead gain and the solo, so we'll just call this something different. Rhythm boost. All right, so let's go back into the amp. Might even lower it a bit more. Let's start it down at 35. And then we'll boost it up to 75. That sounds pretty good. I actually prefer it more gain, to be honest, so I'd probably leave that boost on, but for the intro maybe turn it off at start and then leave it on for the rest of it. Let's have a listen to the record and just play along. So obviously that's the rhythm tone, but there's also the solo, and the solo is a little bit different. It's a bit darker sounding, but it's also got some delay and whatever on it. So this is a little bit of the solo. Okay, for the solo tone, I've taken the micro shifter out. I've changed the parametric EQ, so it just shelves off the low end. I've added some gain in the Namaste Drive, and I've pushed the tone up a little bit. There's quite a bit of change in the amp as well. Definitely pulled that middle back a bit. And no change to the cabs. Added in the prime delay. Sorry about the noise. So that just adds a single repeat. It does have a couple of repeats, but they're very sort of subtle. And the small room reverb is the same. I've decided I had too much gain on the lead sound, so I've pulled the gain back on the Namaste Drive to 25%. I think that's too high as well, so I'm going to change that in the footswitch. I'm going to pull it back down to say 67. 67! Let's see what that's like. There's definitely still enough gain for the pinch harmonics. So there you have it, that's my 5150 tone. The heavy rhythm boost. And of course the solo tone. So that's now uploaded to the cloud. You can grab it. It's called JGG5150. You can audition that or download it for free. And I hope you enjoy my Van Halen inspired tones. If you do, remember there's another couple of Van Halen tones that you can get as part of my 80s rock pack, which is available on johnsguitargarage.store. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.